Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio, taking a look at your forecast as we head into the new work week. And finally, and thankfully, we finally have some chances for rain to talk about as we head through the upcoming week. In fact, already have a little bit of rain out there early this morning. So again, those are all good things considering, here in Lincoln, we still have not had any measurable moisture through the first half of the month of September. Only a trace amount of rainfall so far this month. Again, that coming on the heels of an already very dry August across the area. So again, need to see some moisture head our way. Hopefully it looks like that's going to be in the cards as we head through the upcoming week. We are going to continue to see some warm weather, though. Again, through the first half of the month, saw more above average days than below average days when it comes to our high temperatures. In fact, we run off 7 consecutive days with high temperatures that are generally above average. We mixed in one slightly cooler day in there on Saturday, where we only got to 84 degrees, but otherwise we've been in the lower to middle 90s over the course of the last week, when normal high temperatures are generally in the lower 80s. And again, that's where we continue to sit for our average low temperatures right now in Lincoln. Again, for the day today, average high temperature is going to be right at 80 degrees. So again, we'll stay right at 80 degrees through Wednesday before those average highs dip into the upper 70s. So again, basically anything 80 or above is going to be above average as we head over the course of the next week. And I just mentioned it, but you look at the moisture as we head through the first half of the month, no measurable moisture, just 2 days, Friday the 6th and Tuesday the 10th. Where we had a trace amount of moisture, so 1.5 inches below normal for our rainfall for the month of September, and now, again, at least a little bit below average for the entire year as well. But again, the rain chances do headline your weather headlines. Again, also going to continue to see above average temperatures through much of this week, but we will be looking at a cooler, more seasonal weekend heading our way for Saturday and Sunday. Again, I know a lot of folks are talking about the potential for rain on Saturday during the Husker game. Again, Huskers hosting Illinois for a 7 o'clock kickoff Saturday night. And again, there is rain in the forecast, but again, still a ways away. Again, exact timing of that potential rain still has a lot of question marks with it. So again, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Don't get too far ahead of the forecast, but certainly would be prepared to maybe keep the rain gear handy if you're going to be heading to Lincoln for the game on Saturday. Right now in Lincoln, again, we can see some clouds off to the west. Right now it's 72 at the airport, 71 here in Midtown Lincoln. A light south wind. Dew points are in the low 60s. Not a bad start to our Monday. Temperatures across the Lincoln Metro are generally in the upper 60s to low 70s right now. And again, with that temperature of 72 at the airport statewide, it's running the range from the low 60s to the lower 70s. Dew point temperatures a little bit higher, so maybe just a touch of humidity out there. Those dew point numbers are generally in the lower to middle 60s. If you look at the dew point trend, again, you can see over the past 7 days, we generally saw those dew points tick up a little bit through late last week through the weekend. Expect them to remain kind of in that lower to middle 60s range as we head through most of this week. They will drop a little bit, I think, as we head Friday into Saturday. A little front is going to push in some drier air, but then the humidity quickly returns as we head into Saturday and Sunday, with those dew points jumping back again, generally into the lower to middle 60s for most of the area. Winds, again, were a big headline through much of the week last week. I saw some breezy conditions, expecting to see more of that as we head through the week this week. And right now, they're generally out of the south at around 5 to 15, maybe 8 to 18 miles an hour. Again, could see some breezy winds at times across the state today. Satellite radar picture, this is where we do have some moisture that's on the board, and right now what we have some moisture being lifted northward across the area. Combine that with just a little bit of shortwave energy aloft in the atmosphere right now, and that's kind of what's driving the activity that we currently have on the board. Again, this activity is going to continue to very slowly drift to the east. As it does so, though, it is expected to weaken and then eventually will kind of fizzle. So we think the best chances for folks to see rain are probably between the Highway 281 and the Highway 77 corridor as we head through the morning into the early afternoon. Here in Lincoln, there's a chance that we could see at least a little bit of moisture as we head later through the morning into the early part of the afternoon, but we're not expecting much out of this. Again, maybe a few hundredths, so maybe around a tenth to a quarter of an inch of additional moisture being possible across the areas. If you look at the radar indicated precipitation thus far. The radar is indicating kind of, again, right along the Highway 281 and just to the east corridor from Grand Island up towards O'Neill. The radar is at least indicating some areas of heavier rain between half an inch to maybe an inch and a half of rain already fallen. Also then down across parts of south central Kansas, radar is indicating some areas of heavier rain. Not a lot of this has actually fallen in the buckets at our reporting stations, so hard to tell you exactly how much has fallen out there. But again, some areas looks like I've picked up at least a little bit of moisture as over the course of the last several hours, and we'll continue to see at least a chance for some additional light rain. I think east of 281 and west of 77 as we head through the morning and into the early part of the afternoon. So again, let's look at the satellite radar picture right now. If you zoom out and look at a regional view, you can see again kind of stretching from north central Kansas into parts of southeastern South Dakota. That's where we're seeing at least a little bit of moisture at this hour. Also have some scattered showers down across parts of southern Missouri into Arkansas, and also some monsoonal activity down across parts of New Mexico, with that activity kind of surging to the north. If you zoom out and look at a statewide or national view, things are a little bit more active across the country this morning. Do have some at least one severe thunderstorm warning there across parts of northern Minnesota. You can also see there's some activity across the Carolinas. That is something we're going to keep a close eye on. This right now is potential tropical cyclone number 8 and could be impacting South Carolina and North Carolina as we head through the middle part of this week. They do have tropical storm warnings along the east coast from Charleston up into the North Carolina area. Right now, again, it's not tropical storm status just yet as of early this morning from the National Hurricane Center, but potentially could strengthen to a low-end tropical storm before it moves onshore. That would likely be either later this afternoon, and then it would slowly kind of drift up towards, again, the Charlotte area as we head into the day on Tuesday. But again, some heavy rains, gusty winds going to be the main impacts, with this system, probably along the coastal areas that likely see the greatest impacts as, again, potentially reaching tropical storm status just before landfall. But again, it would be a low end on the tropical storm scale. But again, it's something we'll keep an eye on here, for those folks along the eastern seaboard as we head over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. So if we go back here at home, check out Skycast. Some showers continue through the morning. They slowly drift to the east, but as they do, they kind of fizzle. That activity is expected to kind of redevelop as we head towards late tonight and then again into early Tuesday morning, and expected to redevelop maybe a little bit further just to the east this time across extreme eastern Nebraska into parts of western Iowa. So again, that will be another chance for some showers and maybe some isolated thunderstorms as we head into the day on Tuesday. And then Tuesday afternoon looks generally dry, but again, another chance for showers and thunderstorms heads our way as we head Tuesday night into the overnight hours. So that's a chance that we'll keep an eye on. But then after that, our best chance is likely going to come, I think, Friday and into Saturday later this week. So again, multiple chances for some showers and thunderstorms across the area as we head over the next couple days. Expected to be kind of hit and miss scattered activity. It's not going to rain all day, any day, I don't think. But again, multiple chances every day for at least some activity across the 10-11 coverage area, which again, we'll take. We need it. Again, it's been awfully dry. As far as the severe weather outlook is concerned, marginal and slight risk for severe weather across parts of North Dakota into northwestern Minnesota today. Again, also with potential tropical cyclone number 8. There is a severe threat along the North Carolina coast as we head through the day today. Also a marginal risk across parts of Utah into parts of northern New Mexico and Arizona. Here at home, not expecting any severe weather, but again, we could see a few of those isolated thunderstorms. For the day on Tuesday, there is a threat for some severe storms, mainly across the high plains from parts of Montana through the Dakotas, western Nebraska into eastern Colorado and New Mexico. Slight risk for severe weather across the Panhandle into northeastern Colorado, so they could see a few scattered severe thunderstorms. Hail and wind would be the primary threats with those thunderstorms. And then Wednesday, again, no severe weather expected, but again, a few isolated thunderstorms can't be ruled out across much of central and eastern sections of the state. Rainfall outlook, again, this is looking much better than it was just a week ago. Obviously, again, across the eastern seaboard with the tropical activity, could see some areas of heavy rain across North Carolina and South Carolina. Back here at home, we had kind of been talking about the wetter, more active pattern heading our way through much of the week last week. A lot of the forecast models, especially the rainfall potential, again, now reflecting that. Again, across much of Minnesota, Iowa, into Nebraska, and to parts of Kansas over the course of the next 7 days. Could be looking at around 1 inch to 2 inches, maybe some areas 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rainfall as we head over the course of the next week. So, again, that is good news. We will absolutely take it after the very dry last 6 or 7 weeks that we've seen across the area. As far as temperatures are concerned, again, look for more above average numbers as we head through the day today, and really over the course of the upcoming work week. For today, we'll say mid 80s to low to mid 90s across the state. In Lincoln, we'll go upper 80s at around 88, 86 in Grand Island, low 90s in North Platte, mid 90s for areas like Imperial and McCook today. Into Tuesday morning, staying above average with lows generally in the mid to upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. Tuesday afternoon temperatures similar, again, generally in the upper 80s to low to mid 90s across the state. Warmest readings likely across the western third of the state in Lincoln as well as Grand Island. Will go right around 89 degrees for the day on Tuesday. Wednesday morning, upper 40s, low 50s in the far west, but most of the 10-11 coverage areas seeing temperatures generally dip into the 60s to start the day on Wednesday. And then Wednesday afternoon, maybe a little bit cooler, but still generally looking at above average temperatures across the state with highs mainly in the middle 80s. Look at the 7-day forecast for Lincoln. Again, 88 Monday, 89 on Tuesday, 87 on Wednesday, dipping back into the 90s on Thursday with a high of around 91, 89 then on Friday, and then mid-70s as we head into the weekend. Sunday is the start of astronomical fall, so feeling a little bit more seasonal for the start of fall. You'll also notice the chances for rain. Again, I think smaller, but still there for today as well as into the day tomorrow. Better chances, though, as we head into Wednesday and beyond, really, and including, again, on Friday, a 40% chance for showers and thunderstorms. Again, it does look like there could be rain in the area as the Huskers host Illinois. Again, the exact timing and placement of that moisture still a little bit up in the air. It's still 5 days away, so again, you want to make sure you stay up to date with the forecast as we head through the week this week. Again, I would certainly have the rain gear handy and ready to go, but again, we'll have to kind of fine-tune some of the details as we head through the week, but it does look like there will be that chance as we head Friday evening into the day on Saturday for some showers and thunderstorms. So again, the forecast could hopefully hold off and maybe keep the rain away for the game, but hopefully keep it in the forecast. But again, we'll kind of have to wait and see as the week plays out on that forecast. 10-day forecast for select cities across the state looks like this. Again, you can see the warmest period over the next week to 10 days is going to be this week. Again, we're looking at temperatures generally in the 80s to low 90s through Friday, but then we see things kind of flip a little bit as we head into the weekend and then into next week where we have a more prolonged stretch of seeing temperatures generally in the 70s, so a little bit closer to normal for this time of year. So again, that should be a welcome change, kind of getting away from the above average high temperatures into more seasonal temperatures. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook. This takes us almost through the end of September, but again, basically taking us through the last week of the month. Right now, according to the Climate Prediction Center, better than average odds of continuing to see above average temperatures. Again, not necessarily looking at excessive heat, but again, with highs, average highs during this time in the mid to upper 70s. Again, looking at maybe temperatures being just a little bit warmer than that. Again, also the precipitation outlook, a little bit better than average odds for wetter than average conditions. Again, just across parts of northern Nebraska into the Dakotas and areas down to our southeast. Across much of the state, it's kind of equal chances. So we'll kind of have to see which way that kind of trends. Drier than normal to our west, or better than average odds of drier than average conditions to our west. So that is something we'll keep an eye on here over the next several days. So again, really the main takeaway, though, as we head over the course of the next several days is the chances for moisture that we finally have back in the forecast. Again, it's been an awfully dry September. It was an awfully dry August, but hopefully we can start to see some changes when it comes to that and finally get some moisture on the ground again. I know a lot of yards are looking a little crispy right now across the area, and again, we could really use some moisture. And it looks like, again, chance today, I think better chances between Highway 281 and Highway 77 for some light moisture through the morning into the early afternoon. But again, another chance tonight into early Tuesday. That chance looks like it's going to be across far eastern Nebraska into parts of western Iowa. And then I think Friday into Saturday. Again, that's another time that we're going to have to keep a close eye on as we head through the week. Again, Huskers hosting Illinois, 7 o'clock kick Friday night. And again, could be some rain in the forecast, so we'll continue to keep a close eye on that. Would encourage everyone to make sure you keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of the latest forecast details when it comes to that forecast. So again, appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. Again, this was just our daily forecast update. We do this live every morning, 9 o'clock, Monday through Thursday, again from the 1011 Now streaming studio. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. Again, you can watch us on our streaming platforms on 1011now.com, our streaming apps, or we're live right now on the 1011 YouTube channel. If you're on the YouTube channel, I'll tell you to like and subscribe. Again, we do a ton of different stuff, and again, kind of helps keep you up to date with what's going on, not only in Lincoln, but across the state, if you like and subscribe to that YouTube channel. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and for watching. Again, like I mentioned, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, not just for your latest forecast information, but also for your latest news and sports headlines as well.